It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body. Supplements that get you moving and keep you moving. That make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. Company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Welcome to the Wellness Wednesday showdown for 3 International. I am really excited to be your host today. My name is Lynde Turner. I hail from the great state of Texas, but because of this industry, I was able to do something really wild. My family and I sold everything, sold our house, sold all the things, and we travel full time in our RV, which you see behind me. So if you see my name, it says Anywhere USA. It's literally because I may be anywhere in the USA. Right now, I'm in the great state of Montana, and I get the explicit pleasure of introducing you tonight to our newest product, Kynetik. And if you're asking yourself, like, what is she talking about? You're going to hear all the things tonight. You're going to get a little science, a little stories, and you're going to walk away knowing exactly what it is to have clean energy, which is so important in today's day and age. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, everyone is walking around with a Celsius or a Rockstar and a Lonnie in their hand. And we want to make sure at 3 International that we're giving people clean, effective products that replace things in their life to give them a healthier version of themselves. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to our medical professional tonight. I have a nursing background, and so I'm really excited to introduce another nurse friend. Her name is Kira Williams. She is a family nurse practitioner out of the awesome state of Texas, and she runs a holistic wellness clinic. This is her wheelhouse, guys. So I want to introduce her, let her tell her story, and then I'm going to ask her some questions about our new fave, Kynetik.
Hi, so thank you for having me on, Miss Lynde.
You are so welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you get into the world of holistic nursing care, taking care of patients in a more wellness-centered environment?
Yeah, so I mean, thankfully God opened the doors. I was really going into my nurse practitioner education in the midst of COVID, right? I kind of had already opened up to thinking a little bit differently. I ended up doing a home birth right before. Like I said, God opened doors. It was a blessing. I was able to have my baby at home. And in the midst of COVID, when everything else was shutting down, my family was able to be there. My kids were able to be there. Such a blessing. And so that kind of had already started opening my eyes. And then I just started kind of questioning everything in the medical field. And I had already worked as a nurse for 14 years at this point and was going back for my nurse practitioner. And my mind was already opened. And so I started like looking into a lot of the more natural things. I did clinicals in holistic care wherever I could. And so just seeing that there was different options out there and alternative. I mean, in nursing, they kind of give us a little bit of background of alternative, but I don't know if they do so much anymore. And so I was just seeing, okay, well, we can really use whole food stuff to benefit all of these disease processes. And really, it seems so simple. However, in our world, with all the processed food and synthetic toxins and everything, it can be a little bit difficult, but even just going back to how important like just our gut health is and looking into that, I started opening my eyes. And so I originally started my nurse practitioner in neurology, which I feel like God always puts us where we need to be. And so I did that for a year, and I mean, such a blessing. I learned so much, was able to grow so much. However, my heart was still really in holistic functional medicine, where I really didn't want to push all of the pharmaceutical stuff that, of course, I was taught. I started really questioning, like, is this really what I want to do? I went back to school for this, and now I'm going to go out and this is what I get to do. I don't want to just push these medications on everybody all the time. I mean, I do think there's a purpose and a place for it. However, I do think it's very widely overused. And so, yeah, God opened up another door, and I was able to step into a direct primary care clinic, and I am the only nurse practitioner there, so it's very flexible. I love it. Our patients are very like-minded. However, I get those that are still in the primary care world and coming in because they want an antibiotic or whatever, and I get to educate now. So it's such a great thing.
I absolutely love that. I love that you're getting to help people on a cellular level, on a root cause level, on a wellness level, and really give them like true freedom in their health. And so, with that being said, I know we're talking all about clean energy today with Kynetik. How have you seen that impact your practice? Because I know that you carry the 3 International line in your holistic wellness practice, offering it to your patients day in and day out to address those kind of root causes of things or address those nutritional deficiencies, those toxins in our life through all the things that 3 offers. But especially talking about clean energy in a world that is full of all the nasty. How has this impacted your practice, and how have you seen it impact your patients?
It has been amazing. I mean, so many people are now walking around with fatigue, with brain fog, all the things. And now we have something that we can give them as a better option. Everybody, I mean, probably 90% of my people are going to coffee first thing in the morning. And I mean, I was the same way. I loved my coffee. And now to be able to have Kynetik, which is clean energy with no synthetic stuff, is amazing to be able to have in the clinic. And whenever the patients walk out and they're talking about, I mean, the majority of them coming in with issues is fatigue. I just feel so tired all of the time. And so on their way out, I can say, hey, try a couple of these samples, or I've also gotten some little packages that I've got set up where they can buy 3 or 5 in a pack and be able to try it out first. However, I mentioned that to like a patient the other day, and she was like, no, I mean, if there's this energy that's better, I'm going to buy a whole box. Okay, great. Take a whole box. So it's been great to be able to have right on my shelf.
That's so good to be able to have an option for people that maybe don't have access to a cleaner option. Because I'm gonna be honest, walking on the shelves at Walmart's or Target or wherever I'm doing my shopping for the week, it's pretty bleak. So, with the craze of energy drinks, there's a new energy drink coming out every day, and most of them have aspartame or sucralose or these artificial sweeteners, these artificial ingredients. They're full of not the greatest caffeine, which is synthetic. What makes Kynetik different? So, we're going to get a little sciencey, a little nerdy, but tell us, Kira, in your expert opinion, what makes it different?
Yes. So having Kynetik that's clean and the caffeine comes from green tea is so beneficial. People aren't getting the jitters. People are feeling amazing. No aspartame, like you said, in it. No synthetic stuff. And a lot of things that come through my clinic, a lot of people are very aware because MTHFR is kind of really huge in our world. And so a lot of people are always asking, is there methylated? And I can finally say, even the B12 in this is methylated. It's not synthetic. It's not the cyanocobalamin. It's the methylcobalamin. And how amazing is that? Like, I mean, hardly anything can you find actually methylcobalamin in, unless you're buying just that by itself. So, I mean, that alone is huge. I think another thing that a lot of people forget or don't really make a huge deal about, and in the holistic world, in my clinic, it is huge because people are always worried about their adrenals and their adrenal fatigue. And Kynetik has adrenal support in it, which is so amazing because we usually try to get people off of caffeine because it does start to wear on your adrenals. And I can tell them, you know what, this has yerba santa in it, which is going to help with your adrenals. So that's huge. And then also it doesn't have the, like you said, sucralose and fake sugars in it. It's got the monk fruit and stevia, which is way better for us to have a natural sugar substitute instead of all of the artificial sweeteners that are terrible for us. So I'm so glad that we have this.
Me too. And I love that you mentioned yerba santa because let me just tell you, I had never heard of yerba santa before our Kynetik release, but it really kind of I totally went down a nerd rabbit hole with this plant. And if you don't know already, Kynetik does so many more things than just your electrolytes, your hydration, energy. Obviously, we've talked about clean energy. It also does things like mood support and brain support, which sign me up. As a mom of two, busy, I need all the mood and all the brain support I can get. So tell us, Kira, what about Kynetik should make, if somebody is drinking, a Celsius or Nalani or something like that, what about Kynetik should make, if they're not already convinced, should make them want to make the switch? What is your advice for them?
So some people, whenever they start off with kind of more clean supplements or clean energy and getting rid of a lot of the toxins and everything, taste is kind of hard because we have really been in a world where very processed food, sugars everywhere that are terrible for us. So, I mean, I would highly suggest keep on trying it. Maybe first starting off with just switching out one of your energy, whether it's an energy drink or a coffee. If it's your coffee first thing in the morning, switch it out for one of those, and then keep trying. And getting away from the toxins and everything is a journey. So as you slowly start to get away from it, you're not going to want to go back. You try it again, and my goodness, having like sweet tea or a Dr. Pepper or something tastes so nasty after you've been away from it for a little while. You will develop a taste for clean food, clean energy.
I could not agree more. I joked just the other day with somebody that I just started this journey so that I had less anxiety, that I had less stress, that I had less pain, that I felt better. And here I am, using the non-chemical deodorant and like clean everything. And I use vinegar to clean my house, and people are like, "What is going on?" But it truly is a journey. It actually starts with just switching one thing, and then you pick a new thing and you pick a new thing. So I love that we can chat about Kynetik, because if it's the one thing that you switch after today's call, I'm hoping that you end up loving it, that you give it a good try, and then you end up seeing the results. So without further ado, let's chat with a few people that have seen some really amazing results with this new product. So I'm going to go all the way to Orlando, Florida with Kristin Campbell. She is a busy, busy mom, working a full-time job, raising gorgeous kids. And I know that one thing Kira mentioned with MTHFR is something that has been near and dear to Kristin's heart. And so I'm going to ask Kristin to hop on over, tell her story and her experience with Kynetik.
Hey, Lynde. Okay. I just wanted to kind of mention, from my perspective, because I am a software engineer, I am very critical. That's pretty much my wheelhouse, is analyze anything and everything. And so when this came around, and, like Kira had mentioned, MTHFR, if there's apparently about 60% of people that may or may not know that they have this genetic mutation. I think Lynde and I are both in that group, but it affects B12, it affects folate, and dealing with heavy metals. So, you don't want to ingest that stuff if you can avoid it, because that's where it comes from. So I just kind of resigned myself to not doing energy drinks, like Kira already mentioned, with the stuff that's in it, the artificial B12. It never sat well with me. It always made me feel weird and off, and you get the jittery racing heartbeat, all that. And so when I heard about this stuff coming out, this Kynetik, I was like, okay, critical mind kicks in. First thing I said to Lynde is, I need the ingredients. You got to tell me what's in this exactly, like not just all the highlights. I didn't want the highlight reel. And so I read through it, and I saw that it was the methylated, and I was kind of excited, but then I was still like nervous. So I actually went so far as to reach out to the science team, and I said, I need to know 100%. And when they came back and said, yes, this is MTHFR friendly, that was the deal for me. And when I tried it, it was like night and day. All of a sudden, I'm feeling more clear-headed. I've actually been more productive. Mom mode. At the end of the day, I'm just like, forget this. I just want to sit down. I want to unwind. And now it's like, okay, dinner's done. Now let me start getting lunches ready for tomorrow. And now I'm planning ahead and doing all these different things. And this is something that I have added into my mom arsenal. And, there's a lot of people that talk about mom juice, and, there's different things that are out in the market. And this is the one. I'm telling you, I haven't felt this different and this much better than I have in 10 years. It's like it's like before I had a couple of kids that I had to chase around. It's definitely the best thing that I have ever encountered, and the best thing that I'm happy to share with anybody else that wants to know how I do it as a mom. This is my secret.
I absolutely love that. As somebody who also struggles with MTHFR and I have like ADHD, I have all the letters, y'all. So having a energy that not only makes me feel better, but I also can feel it working, because if you have ADHD, caffeine statistically like usually does the opposite effect. So I love, Kristin, that you're feeling this, that you're like feeling it really good and you're sharing it with everybody because of how different it's making you feel. So thank you so much for hopping on. And we're going to go all the way over to Texas with my friend Ashley Culverhouse, who is a educator dealing with all the kids. And I know she's going to tell you all about how Kynetik has made such an impact in her life.
So yes, I am an educator. I'm from San Antonio. I've been teaching for 14 years now, all at the same campus, and I get the pleasure of teaching ages 11 through 14. So if anybody who is a parent, you know what that involves and you know what that entails and the ups and downs that go with all of that. I personally do not have my own children, but at the end of the day, I always say I get to leave behind and go back to the next morning 1,000 students every day. That is a lot. So I noticed at the beginning of this school year when I went back to teacher in service, I had started drinking Kynetik the day that it came out. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, okay, this is different. But going back to what Kira said, we're so used to all that synthetic nonsense and taste and whatnot. It did take me a minute, but once I got used to it, game changer. I like it more diluted and my mood was better. I noticed my anxiety got lower. So I kind of have a lot of letters too behind me, the anxiety, the depression, the ADHD, all the things. So coffee and other energy drinks, which I was prone to drinking nonstop. No, I don't drink it anymore. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't have that ugly crash. Around 2 to 3 o'clock is when my work mode would kind of drip, and that's not fair to my students. And I was like, I have to find something that's going to get me out of this mood slump and this brain fog that everybody talks about. And Kynetik is it. I don't have it anymore. I don't have that crash downfall like after lunch. I drink one in the morning and I'm up and awake and I'm good to go. I drink one around 2 o'clock is usually when I tend to drink my second one, and I'm ready to go for the rest of the day. I don't go home and take naps anymore. It's what I used to do because I'm exhausted, dealing with a lot of teenagers. It's tough. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I love them to death, but it's challenging. It's a very challenging job. And it's a thankless job, like most are. um, but yeah, my mood so much better, so much improved. My anxiety so much less. Um, it's just amazing, and I can't thank enough that Kynetik is actually a thing that was out there. I never thought that I would not have these jittery feelings and the ugly crash at the end of the day, and then just feeling exhausted at the end of the day getting home. Like not taking naps is huge. I have a big dog and I love to play with her and I love to go outside with her and do runs. There for a while, for about a year and a half, I was a bad dog mom. I kind of stopped doing all those runs with her because I was so tired at the end of my work day and I just didn't want to do anything, and I don't have that feeling anymore. And I have to thank Kynetik for that. So that's awesome.
I love that so much, Ashley. And I know you are passing it out like candy, not to the kids, to the other teachers.
Not the kids, yes,
Everyone, because everyone in your area needs that. I can only imagine. My boys are 8 and 10. And the preteen is already happening. So I can only imagine you should be nominated for sainthood already. But thank goodness for Kynetik, because it's given you that little boost to get through your whole day. So we're going to take it over all the way to near Austin, Texas to finalize our kind of round of awesome stories about Kynetik with my friend Mary Teague, who is a busy mom too. If you haven't caught the theme, guys, we are looking for clean energy in a busy world, right? She's a busy mom. She runs a business. She's doing all the things. And I cannot wait for her to share her Kynetik story with you guys.
Thank you so much, Lynde. I appreciate it. I am so excited to be here. Like Lynde was saying, I am a mom of 3, one of which is only 10 months old. Cue the lack of sleep here. I am also a police officer by trade and an owner of a first responder organization that employs fire and police. So when Kynetik came out, I immediately knew who I wanted to help. And that was not only myself, but it was other first responders as well. And so when they said energy, hydration, vitamins, it was automatic. Yes, click add to cart right now. I have been passing them out like candy as well. I see other first responders. In the first responder world, we're talking 2 to 3 energy drinks a shift. And that is so unhealthy. Heart attacks are the number one killer of police officers. And this has been a game changer for my firefighter friends. They cannot get enough of it. I literally carry a box in my purse because people will go, hey, do you have that powder drink mix on you? And they'll just walk up to me and want some Kynetik. And as soon as I'm passing it out, other people are like, oh, you have an energy drink? What is this? And I have had feedback where people are like, oh, I don't like the flavor. Well, when you're going from fast food to organic lifestyle, you're not going to like the flavor. And I always tell them, give it another shot, try 2 to 3 more times. And then if you don't like it, let me know. Usually by that second to third time, they're coming back telling me a different story on how it helped them later on. And I can't tell you how sleep deprivation is a real thing in the EMS world. And this has just been an absolute game changer.
I love that so much. It is so true because as a nurse, I worked in the ER and the ICU, and all of my first responder friends, even me, like I was down in the energy drinks to get through those night shifts. And it's just such a huge blessing to be able to share something that's clean, that's not going to trash your adrenals, but also is going to let you sleep at night. I love that I can take this in the afternoon and then I can still go to sleep at night. That's not an issue for me.
I am type 1 diabetic, and I have noticed better blood sugars. I would like to note that even though it's not something that we talk about, my blood sugars, when I drink it, I notice my blood sugars running more stable, and there's no sugar in it. So it doesn't affect me in that aspect.
I love that. That's huge, guys. Huge. I also noticed that I'm not nearly as hungry. And I don't know which ingredient of all the many good ingredients that are in this little packet is helping us in all these different ways. But there's just so much packed in one little guy. And each of one of these is cheaper than every single energy drinks on the market, which is kind of crazy. So it's cheaper, it's more effective, and it's healthier for you. So thank you, ladies, so much. I hope this was informative for everybody that's listening tonight. I hope wherever you are in the world that you give Kynetik a chance. And I want to hop back real quick over to my girl Kira because she has one more story that I think you're going to want to hear.
Thank you, Lynde. Yes. So I have a patient recently that was doing coffee in the morning, and then I think it was an Alani or whatever energy drink, she would say around 2 to 4 because she felt like she was crashing and was needing something more. And it was one of those like coming in with fatigue, what is going on? And so I gave her the option. Thankfully, I had it on my shelf. Hey, try this new clean energy that I have. I think, this would be able to benefit you. Once again, we can help that adrenal fatigue. We can, knock out so many different things right here with this hydration that we need, your brain fog that you're having. And I had another follow-up, and she just said, I changed out that for both of mine. I'm not doing the coffee in the morning. I'm not doing my Alanis that I was doing. And I just do it once a day. That's all that I need. But she switched it out for both of them. And so she's doing 2 of them a day. And she said, I was feeling a little depressed and what's going on. We went over all the gut health stuff. And she said, I don't even know why, but now that I switched over, I'm feeling so much happier too. And so back to that, not only the brain support and the adrenal support and the hydration, but also it enhances our mood. And that's what I told her. This has a mood enhancer in it too. So how amazing is this stuff? We're hearing it from everywhere.
It really is. It is going viral, y'all. Get your box, order it, hop online, get it shipped to your door. If you haven't noticed already, from young to old, from men to women, I know we didn't have any dudes here yet, but my husband, I'm sure Kira's husband, all the guys are ranting and raving about this too. He's switching his rock star for this. Hallelujah. But from young, old men, women, from all walks of life, from nursing and healthcare to educators to first responders and all the way to software engineers. People are noticing a difference with this clean energy that has brain support and mood support and adrenal support and all the things you need to get through your day. So if you haven't already, you better click add to cart and get it to your house, shipped directly to you. Thank you so much for being on tonight. We are so glad to have hopped into your living room or hopped in your car or wherever you're listening from and get to share with you what Kynetik is doing worldwide. Have a great night, guys.